Hello, everybody. I'm the Red Man, and I hate women. Allow me to explain myself just a little bit. Women is not just all women, but a specific subset of perpetually aggrieved and professional victim women have made it their mission to sabotage the 2020/2021 Tokyo Olympics. You can see in this title from the loathsome New York Times here, the title of the article, Tokyo Olympics official resigns after calling plus-size celebrity. I'm going to stop right there. I got to translate from bullshit to English. Plus-size means fat. Tokyo Olympics official resigns after calling fat celebrity, quote, Olympig. Okay, then. To make a long story short, he suggested that a fat woman was indeed fat, and everybody got their undies in a bunch. This is not the first time a bunch of idiot clucking hens getting their undies in a bunch has led to problems over the Olympics. I must stress this is the Olympics. The whole point is, to put on the Olympics, a celebration of human physical competency, athleticism, success, not to placate the feelings of a bunch of overweight idiots. And of course, the New York Times has their diverse lineup of, I don't know why it takes 3 women to write an article that's like 2 pages, not even 2 pages long. It took 3 people to write this shit. Good God. Tokyo, it was few people's idea of funny. For the opening ceremony of the Tokyo Olympics, its creative director Hiroshi Sasaki envisioned a popular comedian and, let me once again translate from bullshit in English, popular comedian and fat fashion designer Naomi Watanabe, I believe I said that right, decked out in pig ears tumbling from the sky as an Olympic messenger, or as he put it, an Olympig. On Thursday, one day after Japanese magazine revealed that Mr. Sasaki, 66, had shared this idea with colleagues a year ago. It's been a year and nobody died. Nobody was harmed. An entire year of things operating smoothly before a bunch of butthurt from people who do not matter caused these idiots to further fuck up their organizing of the Tokyo Olympics. Because I'm not super duper familiar with Japanese culture, but I'm pretty sure politeness is valued and they actually understand how apologies work among normal people. If you commit some offense, you go, oh, sorry, my bad, or however they say sorry. And then you go, especially if it's a minor offense like this, you go, it's all right, don't sweat it. And then you go on with your lives. That's not how these people right here, these 3 idiots and the other fools complaining about this operate. They don't accept apologies. They just treat it as an admission of guilt. They treat it as a victory for themselves, and they get their little squirt of dopamine and go on to ruin something else. Don't ever apologize, even if you actually did something wrong. And listen, what he said was impolite, but Naomi Watanabe, this is what she looks like. It may have been polite, but it certainly wasn't inaccurate. I mean, she is so fat, she's got fat hands. This is like mind-boggling for Japanese, but this is average American fat. That's how fucking fat she is. And it's perfectly suitable to call her an Olympig, because she's even got a face like a fucking pig. Where was I back here with this bullshit article? Oh yes, a year ago. Remember this happened a year ago and things managed to run smoothly until a bunch of irrelevant piss whistles decided to make a stink about it on social media. Never listen to these people. These people do this sort of shit because mockery and ridicule like Olympig defeats them. Everybody complaining about nonsense, wanting body positivity and all this other delusional garbage deserve to be mocked and ridiculed within an inch of their lives. That's how you get rid of them, and that's why they don't like it. So that's why you got to do it anyway. Anyway, after he had shared this idea with his colleagues a year ago, Mr. Sasaki, he resigned and apologized. His departure came weeks after the president of the Tokyo Olympic organizing committee. Yoshiro Mori, 83, stepped down after coming under widespread criticism for saying that women talk too much in meetings. These people hate the truth so much they're willing to ruin an entire Olympics just because a few people spoke the truth. In response to the outrage over Mr. Mori, the organizing committee had been scrambling just months before the start of the games to place women in leadership positions in an attempt to rectify its image as an old men's club. Might I suggest that this shouldn't be a priority? You're scrambling to organize the Olympic Games. Who gives a screaming shit whether or not there are women in leadership positions or whether or not it's an old men's club? The point is to organize the games. If women are not if women are going to shift focus away from that, tell women to hit the fucking road. We've got to get on with this fucking article or I'm going to be here all day. Jesus Christ. Mr. Sasaki's quick resignation was a sharp contrast to Mr. Mori's exit. While Mr. Mori apologized swiftly for his sexist comment, he initially said he would not resign, and none of Japan's top government officials demanded his departure. He ultimately resigned more than a week later after online petitions to unseat him, protests from female lawmakers in opposition parties, and concerns from some Olympic sponsors. Of course, the global government's woke, toady, subsidized, and sanctioned corporations came into, oh no, mister, you don't say accurate things about women, not on our watch. I should mention once again, this is because it's getting lost in this ridiculous tide of estrogen, that this is supposed to be about the Olympics, you know, the big old international sporting event where we get to see who can like run the fastest, jump the highest, throw the farthest, a celebration of physical prowess, the achievements of human competency in the physical realm. And we're pissing and moaning because a bunch of clucking hens got their feelings hurt. In the case of Mr. Sasaki, a former advertising executive who was put in charge of the opening and closing ceremonies in December, he submitted his resignation just hours after the article appeared on the website of Shukan Bunshun, a weekly magazine. Mr. Sasaki, said in a statement on Thursday that he had made his remark in a group chat with colleagues on a messaging app. Several criticized his idea as insulting. No shit, he said, and quoted two of them. Quote, "It's impossible to compare a woman to a pig." I'm going to pause there for 1 second to go back here. I'd say it is quite fucking possible. Not just possible, but highly accurate. Another wrote, "Even if that's a spontaneous idea, you shouldn't say that. Yes, don't speak the truth, sir. Somebody might be offended by it." Mr. Sasaki said he had taken the responses to heart and had taken back his suggestion. So, with normal people, that's the end of it. And honestly, it doesn't sound like a great idea to begin with. If I'm tuning into the opening ceremony of the Olympics and I see some fat woman dressed up as a pig, I'm probably just going to turn the TV off and go outside. It's a good idea to shoot this down. But for normal people, that's where it ends. You go on with your day, you go on with your life, you go on with your job. Anyway, he said he had taken back his suggestion like a normal person, but he did not decide to resign until reporters contacted him for their article. Fuck reporters. Quote, "Now many people know what I wrote. I cannot apologize enough to Miss Watanabe," he said, adding that he was a big fan of hers. I've just a bunch of obsequious butt-sucking because, like I said, I'm under the impression that Japan, this is a cultural thing to, apologize. And that sounds weird to say, but I mean specifically apologize and, be formal about it and a little over the top with it, and by an American standards anyway. But again, he doesn't understand that the people trying to ruin the Olympics because women, believe it or not, are not normal. They're not mentally stable or emotionally competent. They don't accept apologies. They just they take the apologies as an admission of guilt and go on to further ruin things. The people complaining, the people in trying to get people fired or get people to resign from the Olympic organizing committee over my sexism, my misogyny. Those sort of people never do any good for anybody. I don't care where it is. They never make your job easier. They never make the final product of anything better. They only ruin shit. as we see here, they have done not one thing to make hosting the Olympics any easier or to have done a better job of hosting the Olympics. They have just managed to distract from that and make it harder for everyone to get the job done. Anyway, skip past this. Miss Watanabe, 33, rose to prominence for her swaggering dance performances of Beyonce songs, and she has been called the Japanese Beyonce in media. Now, I'm far from Beyonce's biggest fan, but calling this Beyonce is a gross insult to the woman. Unacceptable. Beyond the pale. Don't worry, it gets stupider. A champion for body positivity in a country that largely prizes thinness in women, she has joked about feeling most liberated when eating ice cream in bed and how a muscular sumo wrestler embodies her ideal body type. Girl, you ain't muscular, you just fat. And we come back to body positivity. It is pure cancer. Body positivity and the celebration of inadequacy, weakness, stupidity, will be the death of Western civilization. Japan, if anyone's listening, don't let it be the death of Eastern civilization too. You nip this shit in the bud. You find fat people and you point at them and laugh. Like I say, you must mock and ridicule them because that's the only way to get rid of them. That's the only way to beat them. That's why they hate mockery and ridicule. Let's see how, a country that largely prizes thinness in women, how does that work out for them? Average life expectancy for Japanese females, we can see here. In 2018, the average life expectancy of women in Japan was approximately 87.3 years. Good God, I'm not even halfway there and I already am running out of steam for this planet's bullshit. That's where thinness gets you, though. 87.3 years. American women, notably fatter than holy shit, almost a full decade less. Don't let this become the norm. Don't celebrate this. Don't normalize this. This right here is cancer. I'm talking about the 3 chins, not the ridiculous hairdo. And it's just more blubbering about her, fucking gushing about fatso. And I'm skipping over that. I don't care about her. She needs to lose weight. She's a bad person. Fuck her. We get down to, I think this is pronounced, Saiko Hashimoto, who replaced Mr. Mori as president of the Tokyo Olympic Organizing Committee, said on Thursday that she was shocked by Mr. Sasaki's remark about Miss Watanabe, calling it inappropriate and very regrettable. Does inappropriate and very regrettable mean something different in Japanese than it does in English? Because it seems accurate and very hilarious. She first learned about Mr. Sasaki's comments from the Shunkan Bunshun article, Shukan Bunshun, whatever. She said in a news briefing, the committee was in the process of verifying the report, she said, when Mr. Sasaki called her late Wednesday to explain what happened and offer a resignation. And blah, 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 blah. Oh, wait, I skipped over the best part. And by best, I mean most infuriating. Miss Saiko Hashimoto here, quote, in light of his firm decision to resign, and in light of the fact that we have made gender equality a focus. Keep in mind, she's speaking of the Olympics. Why is gender equality a focus? Shouldn't the athletes be a focus? The athleticism, the speed, the strength, the skill. What in the screaming fuck does gender equality have to do with that? I mean, you have women in the Olympics, and they're there because they're, at least by women's absurdly low standards, very good athletes. Isn't that enough? Just push this ridiculous, stupid Twitter cancel bullshit aside and organize the fucking game so we can actually have an Olympics. Don't worry about gender equality. That'll take care of itself, as in it won't happen because women are slower and weaker and generally need the men around to draw attention. Just like the WNBA. And that's about all it is. I just want everyone to know and be aware that insipid, perpetually aggrieved, professional complaining piss whistles who have never done any good for anyone anywhere are trying to ruin the Olympics because of body positivity. I say that out loud and I just want to fucking throw up. These people are awful. what very, very little I know about her, she seems like a nice enough girl, but she needs to fucking lose weight. She needs to drop this body positivity bullshit. It's pure cancer. It's solely detrimental to the entire human species. You know what's a positive body? One that's like strong and in shape. Not, round. Round is not in shape. It is a shape. It is not in shape. But I've blown a gasket enough, and this is just going to go on me repeating myself as usual. I'm going to leave it there. I promise I'm going to have a video that's not me complaining about this sort of cancerous political bullshit in my sports. This is the purest example I think I could find. I could not come up with a better example of politics ruining sports than a bunch of clucking hens trying to ruin the Olympics because some fat women got their feelings hurt. They are chasing out competent employees because mentally and emotionally inadequate farm animals were offended. Unacceptable. But for real, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care till then.